Anyway, let's get on to the 5 takeaways. And first up, we're going to be looking at lack of fight.
Yeah, and Ange was very much insistent that, we were lacking that fundamentals in the second half, not doing the basics, not winning our duels, not competing. And I think the stats speak for themselves when it comes to that, and the stats tell a story. First half, Spurs won 68% of their duels and 80% of their tackles. Second half, we won 54% of duels and only 40% of the tackles. And I think, Welbeck said at the end of the game, what Hertzler was at halftime just talking about how you need to up the aggression. It's all about being up for the fight in that second half. And it's not all just about tactical switches, all about also players taking responsibility. And they did that in the second half, Brighton, and we thought the game was won, and we completely abandoned our responsibility, personal responsibility for those fundamentals. And I think the stats tell the story as much as the eye test.
And that's the hardest bit to take about this game, because, if Brighton just play out their skin, and they did play really well, and we showed a bit of passion in the game and lost, it would have been hard to take, but it would have been nowhere near as hard as what the players showed. And we haven't seen this lack of fight from a Spurs team. You take it back to Brighton last year. Yeah, Brighton completely outplayed us, went 4-0 up, but look what happened by the end of the game. We could have ended up 4-4 if we would have taken our chances. And I don't think we go 4-0 down because of lack of fight. They just outplayed us on the day. And, if you get outplayed on the day, I can take. But I can't take a player showing clear lack of fight and pure complacency going into that second half. It's just the hardest thing to watch as a football fan. Number 2, we're going to go and look at Brennan keeps the run going.
Yeah, probably the main positive, though any positives yesterday, is Brennan did make it 6 out of 6. We didn't even mention that in the review. We didn't talk about it much, but really good finish. Another goal on his left foot as well. I actually thought he was really positive that first half. He had 2 key passes, 3 shots, 4 out of 5 ground duels won, 3 tackles as well, and completed one of his 1 dribble. So at least he was actually putting some hard yards as well. He's probably, I don't think he was one of the worst defenders when it came to Spurs dropping their standards in the second half. But happy for him. He kept the run going. Obviously didn't mean anything because we lost the game, and that's going to be the main focus. But 6 and 6, when is it going to stop?
It's never going to stop. We don't stop, apparently.
It's a good finish as well.
Confident. Really good finish. And you're seeing good finishes from him week in, week out at the moment. You're really starting to see Brennan evolve at the moment, in my opinion. He's a really important part of the team now, and only a few weeks ago, I was saying, he's only good from the bench. He's coming on and making impacts, but when he starts, he doesn't really make much of an impact, but he's making an impact every single game now, which is a delight for all of us. Next up is a first for Ange, but not Spurs.
So it's the first time Spurs under Ange have given up a 2-goal lead and end up not winning a game, and something that is, it's a new problem for Ange, because usually when we go 2-0 up, we're actually very good in those situations. That's what he said after the game as well. Usually when we've got control like we did yesterday, we're actually very good at managing those kind of situations, and especially when teams, come at us and they leave space, we're very good at exploiting that. But yesterday that didn't happen and it cost us. But as I say, first for Ange, but definitely not for Tottenham, because Spurs became the first team in Premier League history to lose on 10 separate occasions, once being 2 goals up. I don't know if we want to get all depressed. Can we remember all 10? I don't remember.
Don't even start.
That was Man United.
Don't even start, please.
I think it was the first time since we lost to City a couple of years ago under Conte, when we were 2-0 up at half-time. We ended up losing 4-2. Emerson scored that day.
But there's even games that we didn't lose, like the West Ham game.
3-3.
3-3.
But this is talking about losing, but yeah, we'll probably have a whole record for not winning when we are 2-0 up.
And I think the team below us in that record is in like 3 or 4 results below us.
That's why they call us Spursy.
Yeah. And no matter who the manager is, no matter who the players are, these games always follow us around, which is just Spursy. That's all it is. That's why they call us Spursy. Yeah. Number 4 is Solanke contributes.
Yeah, and I thought Solanke obviously had a really strong as first half at least anyway. And this is what we were saying about Solanke before we signed him, because As much as obviously he was brought to be a bit of a poacher and score goals, but he offers so much more than that. And I think we showed that yesterday. A brilliant overall play from him. His hold-up play was fantastic in the first half. And on 3 separate occasions, he played Werner through on goal, which he should have made more of. He was involved in the second goal when he played another good ball to Werner, who set up Maddison, and he got a brilliant assist for Brennan Johnson with a brilliant through ball. Some people saying his passing was shades of Harry Kane yesterday with some of his through balls, but brilliant pass for the assist for Brennan. Didn't have to break stride before slotting it home, and he's really showing what he can offer. It's a shame that we couldn't build off that in the second half because he didn't really get involved as much, and I think he lacked supply more than anything, to be honest, in that second half, Dom Solanke. But first half really showed, even without scoring, what he really provides for the team in his system.
And you know what? Big Dom has actually surprised me so much since he's come to this football club, because I knew he was a really good presser, and I feel like from a number 9, he's probably the best in the league at what he does in terms of pressing. I knew he would get goals because that's what he showed last season for Brighton. Wasn't 19 goals in the Premier League last season? But I didn't know how good he was at like kind of dropping deep, build-up play, link-up play, his passing. I never knew he had such good passing. So he's surprised me a lot in terms of what he's brought to this team. And it's a credit to him as well, just how seamlessly he's kind of just fitted in as well. He hasn't taken a transitional period or anything like that. He's just slotted in like he's been there for the last 5 years. So it's a massive credit to him. But like I said in the match review, the only thing I want to see more from him now is getting to more goal-scoring opportunities and positions.
I think he's getting the positions. He just needs better supply, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
I think Decky should have found him in one
maybe
of those
you're
moments. Right. And hopefully that'll come. But he's still got 3 goals. Not terrible.
Yeah, true. And last but not least, the 5th and final takeaway, a worrying start statistic.
Yeah, but after the loss yesterday, it's actually points-wise after 7 games our worst start since Juande Ramos back in 2008, which obviously famously got 2 points from 8 games, and it obviously got himself sacked.
This ain't quite October. 2 points from 8 games.
Not quite. This is 7 points. This is 10 points from 7, so it's a far cry from that. But it is points-wise our worst start since then, and so from that point of view, that is a bit of a concern. But hopefully we don't let that slide too much after this game. We still came into this game off the back of 5 wins, albeit 2 of them, 3 of them win cup competitions. But yeah, that's a fact. And all the talk about Ten Hag having, Man United's worst start in their Premier League. I mean, it's not our worst start in Premier League because I'm sure probably in the 90s we had very bad starts. But I don't know whether that's to say we usually are fast starters and we slow down, or is this something to be really worried about? But
I think we are usually fast starters.
Well, a lot of false dawns. We are known for our false dawns.
We are known, yeah. But if you're looking at the fixtures ahead, West Ham at home, Palace away, Villa at home, Ipswich at home, and Man City away. So a few hard ones in there, but we should be getting... How many points do you reckon in the next 5?
It's so hard to predict. You never know.
West Ham at home, we got to win that. We got to respond from that with a win. We just have to. I'm not taking anything but a win.
Knowing Spurs will draw to Palace and then we'll beat City.
We're usually good at Selhurst Park.
Yeah, true. You just never know what Tottenham. If it's so hard to predict, because I just think the Premier League is so competitive. Apart from when you're looking at teams right near the bottom, it's very, very tough. But
I know it's hard to predict, but it doesn't mean we can't make a prediction.
So what the next 5? But the City game's a cup competition, isn't it?
No, City in the league.
City in the league. So what's the next 5?
West Ham at home.
Mm-hmm.
How many points? 3 points.
3 points.
Palace away. 3
points. I mean, I can say 3, but we might well draw. But
that's what a prediction is. You're not always right in a prediction.
I would say, I would say 4 points at least from Palace and Villa.
Okay, so you're saying
we'll
West Ham win,
one.
Palace win, Villa draw. Doesn't matter which one we draw and win. Ipswich at home, we got to win.
Yeah.
And Man City away.
We'll lose that probably. So how many points?
That's 3, 6, 9, 10.
10 out of the next 5. Out of the next 5, out of the next 15 available.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be acceptable, I guess.
All right.
Take it.
That is your 5 takeaways from the game, and we move on.